Alright, my clothes are washed and put away, and I'm ready. Cure. Suffering from a deep cut, bleeding. Jeez. Broken bone. What am I supposed to do for? Says 1 or Z. Nice. Jeez. Are they serious? What? What is happening? Wow, this is crazy. Did all this. And for what? To like never do it again? It's kind of stupid. Back up. What? What? Where did this come from? Cool. Jeez, bro, what more am I supposed to do? What does the knife do? Oh. Okay, this ain't really rocket science. Jeez. up a snake. Poor guy. This guy's heartbroken. Poor guy lost his shotty.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Mission ain't over. Oh no. That ain't good either. What? I think that has another name. It's got another name. It's got another name. Oh, she sees him? That ain't good. Freak is that in the background? Got Zeus here. Look at him feeding.
Excellent. A great success.
It's just a missile launcher.
Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
Bro, what? Why are they so weird? Not the characters, the people that made it.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Jeez.
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
Nah.
Nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. Spunk.
Spunk? I should look that up.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember, the Alamo.
Shoot him.
Colonel!
He indeed nuked your fellow Russians. Jeez. Oh, bro, it's right there. He's gonna get radiation and lose his eye. Homie's literally in a nuclear blast. This is stupid. I mean, yeah. I think he's switching it up. What kind of freaky? Nice sounds. Do 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 do. Hey, let's go. This song is fire.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night.
Why is the game getting a second intro? Oh, that took too long, I guess.
I'm searching
Poor kids. Oh no.
what a thrill in the heart, but you're so supreme.
Ooh, this is sick.
Not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one
I'm bobbing my head right now, but you can't see.
else. Crime is the way I lie to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one
They got military advisor.
else. Crime, it's the way I lie to you. I'm still in a dream.
How far am I? I have to look it up. What vids? I'm like 3 hours in.
I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean. Altitude
I got many
30,000
hours
feet.
left.
Approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen
Alright, let me
supply
focus.
is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Jeez, who hears this?
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
Oh.
So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
This is Major Tom.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This fox is still one step ahead of the hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban.
Ooh.
This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
Another,
President Johnson? Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB 754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard then. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin, of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend.
jeez, that picture's fire.
During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
That is what happened.
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Liar.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The Army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
Somewhat.
I've said it once and I'll say it again.
Actually, well, I
Our
don't-
government had nothing to do with it.
They said
And
in
I
the
would
snake.
like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence.
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if
I
it is
see.
not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
Well, in
What
America.
if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
America doesn't get played like
A
this.
nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal.
Yeah, these governments are
If you fail,
beyond
it will
retarded.
mean the beginning of a new world war.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off.
I see, I see.
You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
I see. See, I looked at the Metal Gear story,
Are the
but
Russians going to be helping us?
it can still be fuzzy.
KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can
This is
talk.
sick! This is sick!
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
I love how I can take
Precisely.
screenshots.
Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks.
Oh!
Provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Oh! Oh!
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Send me in, boys. I got that blicky on me. this the same spot? That's stupid. Radiation? Question mark? Shadow Moses, Shadow Moses. Shadow Moses, Shadow Moses. Shadow Moses, Shadow Moses, Shadow Moses.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time.
Let's do it.
Rescue Sokolov.
Yes.
Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it.
Yes, sir.
And finally, eliminate the boss.
Dang, this game's crazy good.
This mission will be codenamed Operation
Hey.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
That's
And what
not
are the
American.
CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
Major Tom.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
Oh my
The wrong one.
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
Oh, must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square 0. My frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Man.
Is this her last chance too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
Dude.
How will I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and "Lali Lulelo."
Lali Lulelo. Gotcha.
That's so
You've been
weird.
equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission.
No, I'm killing everyone
Snake,
now.
if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Nice. This is sick. This is straight from MGS5. Shit. What is that? Oh, it's a snake. I have stun grenades. Yuck. First thing I'm gonna do is put the blicky on this snake. Wait, is there a snake? Might be bugging. No, I'm not. Back up, back up, back up. Where's my silencer? Jeez. How long have I been recording? Are you serious? 30 minutes already? So much chit chat. Oh my. Oh man, they took my food. Oh, I just want to put a silencer on. Yeah, there's no silencer on this. No! Just press enter. What's enter? Pressed everything. It's a liar. What is enter? Why do I think that will help me? Oh my, what is enter? Wait, can't I just actually hit enter on my... I didn't think... Jeez. I don't... Wow. I don't have the actual button on the controller to do that. What is action? I mean, enter. What? It's not a button. Do you see enter? What the what? Okay, that's stupid. Wow, this is like... So I'm gonna actually hit enter on the... Okay. I feel kind of retarded because I could have actually just pressed the button. It's whatever. hearing stuff. What's that? There's something here. Alright, anyways. Oh, right there. Go to first person. Wait, actually, since I don't need it. I don't need it here. Apparently. Yeah, put that blicky on him. Put it back. No. Let's do some more chit-chat.
Snake, your first task is to meet up with Adam, the contact provided by the KGB. The rendezvous point is the abandoned factory to the north of your current position. Head north.
The abandoned factory. That's where I met Sokolov during the Virtuous mission.
Correct, but we can't afford to have the same thing happen this time.
I know.
Clearly, gang.
Like the Virtuous mission, Operation Snake Eater is a solo sneaking mission. There are no units in the field to back you up. Avoid engaging the enemy whenever possible. Your first priority is to remain unseen. Use the camouflage option in the survival viewer and choose your camouflage wisely. Proceed with caution.
More.
Unlike the Virtuous mission, this is a night operation.
Oh.
You'll get lost more easily in the dark, but it'll also make your camouflage more effective and make it harder for the enemy to see you. On the other hand, it will also be more difficult for you to see them. You'll also find that different animals are active. Some of these nocturnal animals are poisonous, so stay alert. Paramedic is with us again to provide information on the local plants and animals. Give her a call if there's anything you need to know.
Yeah, MGS5 I usually played at night.
Operation Snake Eater is different from the Virtuous mission in that you won't be able to complete it in just a few hours.
Have a week.
The time limit set by Khrushchev is 1 week. Within that time, you'll have to rescue Sokolov, defeat Volgin, destroy the Shagohod, and...
I know.
Good. In any event, you'll not be allowed to return until you've accomplished your objectives. Survival in the field will be critical in this mission, and the most important survival technique of all is, of course, finding food.
No, it's finding water.
You can get
Clean
food
water.
in the same way you did during the Virtuous mission, by capturing it. The enemy presence in that area is still light. You should try and get as much food as possible while you can.
Okay. Do I actually have a time limit, though?
Thanks to last week's nuclear incident, the Soviet Union is now on secondary alert. We're one step away from a nuclear war.
DEFCON 2, huh?
In American parlance, yes. From what Western intelligence has been able to gather, the radical elements in the Soviet command are showing signs of impatience. They say we're on the brink of World War III here. And with Khrushchev's position getting weaker every day, I worry whether he'll be able to hold them back.
1 week.
Yes, America must eliminate the boss by its own hand to prove its innocence. There is no other way to resolve the crisis. Everything rests on your shoulders, Snake. Failure is not an option.
I know. Major, what should I do with this wreck of a drone?
Just leave it there.
Are you sure?
Yes.
But isn't this thing top secret?
Yes, it is. After the U-2 spy plane incident 4 years ago, plans were laid out for future spy missions in Soviet airspace to be carried out by an unmanned craft. That craft was the D-21 spy drone, the basis of the one you came in on. The D-21 is launched from a craft called the M-21. The M-21 itself is a derivative of the A-12, a supersonic long-range spy plane currently being developed as the successor to the U-2. However, for this mission, we used a modified YF-12A, a long-range interceptor version of the A-12. After being released from the mothership, the drone can achieve speeds upwards of Mach 3 at high altitude using its ramjet engine.
Whatever that is.
It can't be shot down by ground-to-air missiles, and it's nearly undetectable by radar. With Selinoyarsk in such a high state of alert after our last escapade, This was the only reliable way to get you in.
This is all top secret military technology. Are you telling me I'm supposed to just leave it here?
Oh, so
That's right.
Questions.
Why?
The purpose of Operation Snake Eater is to send an American agent into the field in order to eliminate a defector and traitor, namely the boss. Part of that mission involves making sure the Soviets find out what we're doing.
So we have to leave behind some kind of evidence that the U.S. was involved.
Don't worry. The technologically sensitive components of the craft were rigged to self-destruct when it landed.
Okay.
The only thing the Soviets are going to find is a pile of American-made scrap metal.
Got it. Just one thing, though.
What is it?
I think they'd better redesign the landing impact buffer. People are going to get hurt landing that thing.
I'll let them know.
Good guy, Snake.
Major, I appreciate you allowing me to use weapons, but shouldn't I be carrying some rubles?
You mean fake currency?
Right.
Snake, do you remember the Francis Gary Powers incident back in 1960?
No.
Powers was flying a U-2 on a spy mission for the CIA in Soviet airspace. He was shot down and taken prisoner.
His confession brought to light the fact that the CIA was spying in Soviet airspace. As a result, the US-Soviet summit scheduled for 2 weeks later was cancelled.
Yeah, I remember.
U-2 pilots are required to carry items that mask their identity. Powers was carrying ruble, mark and lira coins, as well as French gold coins. He was also carrying 2 gold watches and 7 women's rings.
What?
All of these objects were meant to conceal his national origins. But for this mission, we've got to demonstrate to the Khrushchev regime that America is involved. There's no need to conceal your origins. And besides, all you need to do is complete your mission. As long as you're not captured or killed, the details will take care of themselves.
Okay.
Please be it.
The Soviet intelligence
Oh my
community must be
goodness.
up in arms about the boss's defection. The great Voyevoda has abandoned America and embraced the Soviet Union.
Voyevoda?
Apparently, that's what they call the boss behind the Iron Curtain. It means warrior or mighty soldier in Russian. When used to refer to a woman, it means something close to Lady Knight. In Russia, where they've had a number of female emperors throughout their history, it's a term of great respect. Well, poetic in a way. The boss's exploits have made her name famous in the East as well.
Major, why did the boss defect?
That's a great
I don't
question.
know, but I will tell you this. America is all too eager to get rid of her.
What do you mean?
She knows too many of our secrets. If she were to relay all the top secret information she knows to the Soviet bloc, it would put us at a severe disadvantage. It might even lead to the downfall of the West. Even if we survive, the boss is still too much of a hero to us. With her in the Soviet camp, we'd suffer a fatal loss of morale at home. There are even whispers that some of the less stalwart elements of the military might follow her example and defect themselves. I assume you're aware that since your last mission, several key figures within the CIA have been placed under house arrest.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The loss of the boss has been a painful one indeed.
What about you?
Me? I still can't believe it. As a comrade, I would have placed my trust in her before my own family. But now that I think about it, the boss always seemed to have an aura of mystery about her. I never would have expected it to manifest in this way, though. Oh, well, it won't do to get all misty-eyed about it. She's an enemy now, worthy of nothing more than our contempt.
Understood.
Tragic.
Major, tell me a little bit more about the space race.
Oh, I don't care.
In 1957, the Soviet Union succeeded in launching their first artificial satellite, Sputnik, into orbit. Having been beaten to the chase by the Soviets, the US government accelerated its own space program in an effort to catch up. The following year, the space development programs of the various service branches were united to form the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. That same year, the Mercury program was launched with the goal of putting a man into space. 7 candidates were chosen from the military as the first astronauts. These were the men with the right stuff. But as you know, it was a Soviet cosmonaut, Yuri Gagarin, who made the first successful manned spaceflight 3 years ago. NASA's first successful ballistic flight came 1 month after Gagarin's mission, with the Freedom 7 carrying Alan Shepard into space. After that, with America still lagging behind the Soviets in orbital flight, President Kennedy made a momentous decision. That America would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Yeah, I heard that speech, but a lot of guys I knew weren't real happy about it. They said no one was going to make them go on a mission to blow up some damn moon base.
But rocket research and missile research are closely related. Imagine, if you will, a Soviet Union able to send wave after wave of nuclear missiles raining down on Washington from a base on the surface of the moon. Even if that's still a long way from reality, if we lose the initiative, we may never get it back. We're left with no choice but to keep moving forward one step at a time. The Gemini program, launched 2 years ago, represents the initial step towards establishing a moon base. And yet, I don't want to call President Kennedy a liar, but I simply can't imagine that in 6 years man will have reached the moon.
I don't know. I never even thought we'd make it up into space. I guess it all depends on whether you have the will to make it happen.
Perhaps you're right. Snake, let's go over the controls for CQC one more time. Press the CQC button once to throw a punch. Press it repeatedly to launch a combo attack. CQC doesn't really start to shine, however, until you grab an enemy. Press and hold the CQC button to extend your right hand and grab the enemy. Move the left stick at the same time and you can knock the enemy to the ground. If you don't move the left stick, you can get behind the enemy and hold him prisoner.
When you're holding an enemy from behind, he'll be almost completely helpless. From there are a number of things you can do. By double-clicking the left stick button, you can slit his throat using your knife.
By moving the left stick along with the CQC button, you can knock him to the ground. You can also choke the enemy by tapping the CQC button rapidly. You can either render him unconscious or kill him outright. It's up to you. If you keep the CQC button pressed, you can use the left stick to move around with the enemy in your grip. You can also press the weapon button to use the weapon you have equipped. The enemy will be hesitant to attack as long as you're using one of their comrades as a human shield. Use that moment of hesitation to attack in first-person view.
By pressing the left stick button, you can interrogate the enemy. You might be surprised at the things you can learn. But stay alert. While the enemy is nearly helpless in your grasp, if you give him a chance, he'll turn the tables on you.
You can only grab an enemy using CQC when you're using a weapon that will allow you to reach out with your right hand, such as the survival knife, a handgun, or your bare hands. You can't grab the enemy when using weapons that take both hands to use, such as assault rifles, or that prevent you from controlling the enemy with your right hand, like hand grenades. In short, you can't use CQC when equipped with assault rifles or hand grenades. You can tell whether a weapon is compatible with CQC or not by looking at its icon. Snake, camouflage and face paint alone won't make you blend in completely. In addition to the camouflage itself, your physical position is a crucial dynamic you should keep in mind. Snake, when your stamina gets low, it negatively affects your physical abilities. You've got to replenish your stamina before it runs out.
The gauge below your life gauge is your stamina gauge. It shows, as the name suggests, your remaining stamina. As you consume stamina, your natural life regeneration is slowed and your hands shake more. Your O2 gauge and grip gauge also become shorter. Excessively low stamina can often impede your mission objectives. Make sure you replenish stamina before that occurs. Eat food to recover stamina. Capture plants and animals to get food. I have information on the local plants and animals, so don't hesitate to ask.
Your actions can lower your stamina. The more demanding the activity, the more stamina consumed.
Exactly. Walking slowly will conserve stamina, while actions like rolling, crawling, and stalking consume large amounts of it. Try your best to avoid unnecessary actions in order to conserve stamina.
Snake, in order to carry out the mission without being spotted, you must learn to detect an approaching enemy well ahead of time. Press the first-person view button and use the first-person view to constantly check your surroundings as you proceed. You can use an equipped weapon during first-person view. This is called a first-person view attack. When using first-person view attack, you can direct your line of fire up, down, left, or right. Snake, making it harder for the enemy to spot you isn't the only advantage to maintaining a high camo index. The harder you are to distinguish from your surroundings, the harder you are to hit. In other words, the enemy's shots will miss more often. Do everything you can to keep your camo index high at all times. Snake, this is a solo sneaking operation. There are no medics there to assist you. You'll have to treat your own injuries. Are we clear?
I had a little bit of training, but I'm no doctor.
That's where I come in. To treat an injury, first press the start button to open the survival viewer, then select cure to start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Treatment with medicine involves administering oral remedies and serum injections. You'll use this treatment method when you have food poisoning or when you've been bitten by a venomous animal. Surgical treatment involves applying surgical techniques to injured areas. You'll use this method to take care of burns and gunshot wounds. As long as you do everything you're supposed to, your injury should heal completely. Be sure to follow the proper procedures. I see you caught an otten frog. The otten frog is a large, corpulent species of frog. They're known as a delicacy, so it might be worth catching them for food. The otten frog was originally found only on Amami Oshima in Japan. Frogs usually have 4 toes on their front legs, but the otten frog is unique in that it has 5.
Got it. By the way, you said they were known as a delicacy, right?
Right.
So that means they must taste pretty good, huh?
I guess so. I hear that in Japan, otten frog sashimi and sukiyaki are popular dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Japan, huh? That place is starting to sound better and better.
When you're bitten by a venomous animal such as a snake or a spider, or hit by a poisoned arrow, the poison will start to affect your body. Your life will decrease with each passing minute, so cure the poison as soon as possible. To cure poison, go into Cure in the survival viewer and inject yourself with a dose of serum. You can get serum from enemies. Either hold them up or shake their bodies down after you defeat them. I'm pretty sure you can also get serum by capturing the rabbits that live in that area. Snake, that area is inhabited by the Japanese flying squirrel. Japanese flying squirrels are non-venomous and they shouldn't attack you. The head, front legs, hind legs, and tail of the Japanese flying squirrel are connected by a membrane of skin, which allows the squirrel to glide from tree to tree. It says here that if it catches a good wind, it can fly more than 100 yards.
Sounds like it's going to be tough to catch one.
So, aren't you going to ask me?
You know it. How does it taste?
Not sure.
Not sure?
The guy doesn't say anything about it.
Why not?
Gee, maybe it's because no one would ever think of eating a flying squirrel.
Then I must be the first one.
Maybe you are. You should be able to find Russian oyster mushrooms in that area. The Russian oyster mushroom is an edible variety that belongs to the shimeji family. It's known to be particularly rich in vitamin B1 and niacin. Apparently, it's usually found growing on tree stumps and hollow logs, so look there if you want to eat some. You should be able to find Siberian inkcap mushrooms growing in that area. The Siberian inkcap is a mushroom from the inkcap family. Its life cycle is transitory. As soon as the spores mature, the cap starts to turn black, liquefy, and melt away.
And that's why they call it an ink cap?
That's right. It doesn't really turn to liquid, but you get the idea. In its immature state, before it melts away, it's valued as a source of food. Just be sure not to eat them while you're drinking alcohol.
Why's that?
Ink caps contain coprin, which inhibits the function of aldehyde dehydrogenase. This prevents the body from breaking down alcohol, causing a buildup of acetaldehyde.
Meaning?
Meaning it will give you the hangover from hell.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
You think I'd drink alcohol in the middle of a mission?
Wouldn't you?
Hell no.
Well, I'm knocking a shot back now.
What?
Just teasing you.
Oh,
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of humor?
I need a drink.
I see you have a calorie mate.
Calorie mate?
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie?
Try it, it's pretty good.
Okay, but what is this thing? Never seen anything like it.
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced food. Because of that, it's just perfect for giving your body the nutrition it needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Huh?
It's easy to keep track of your calorie intake and receive the nutrition your body needs, so it's good for losing weight, too. All of the geisha girls in Japan use it for watching their calories.
Is that why they're all so slim?
Right. And any diet where you eat nothing at all is bad for the body.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan. There should be a mushroom called the Baikal scaly-tooth growing in that area. The Baikal scaly-tooth mushroom is used as an antidote to poison. It usually grows on the trunks of trees, so look for it there.
How does it taste?
I think you're going to be disappointed.
Damn.
Oh, quit your whining. You know what they say, good medicine tastes bitter. Eat food to recover stamina. Capture plants and animals to get food. I have information on the local plants and animals, so don't hesitate to ask. There should be an herb called Chinese plantain growing in that area. The Chinese plantain is an herb that resembles a plantain root. The leaves and seeds contain large amounts of aucubin, choline, and tannin. When you mash it up and apply it to a wound, it helps stop the flow of blood and eases the pain a bit. The Chinese plantain becomes a styptic when you pick it up. If you see one, don't forget to take it with you. You can capture animals alive by using the tranquilizer gun or a mouse trap. When you capture a live animal, you can carry it on you as a weapon by going to Backpack in the survival viewer. Once an animal is on your person, equip it and press the weapon button to throw it. Throwing a venomous animal at an enemy might be enough to knock him out. Even non-venomous animals like frogs can be used to distract the enemy's attention. And since I know you're going to ask me, yes, keeping animals alive prevents them from rotting and makes them taste better when you eat them. Remember, though, you've only got 3 cages for capturing live animals. Snake, I think there's a plant called Slav horehound growing in that area. Slav horehound is an herb in the horehound family. It contains large amounts of diterpene, flavonoids, and alkaloids, which give it strong germicidal properties. If you find one, it should make a good disinfectant.
Yo! You're Snake, aren't you?
And you're Sigint?
None other.
I heard that you're an expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Close.
Huh?
I am the expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Ah.
I'm the guy that designed your trank gun, active sonar, and motion detector. If you want to know anything about weapons or equipment you find in the field, just send me a message and ask. Later.
Alright. Just pushing it. Getting real close.
Sounds like the Cobra unit's members' names came from the specific emotions they each carry into battle.
Oh.
Emotions?
Yeah. For unbearable torment, the pain. For true oblivion, the end. For infinite rage, the Fury.
These are
For absolute terror,
bad
the
names.
Fear. And for unsurpassed bliss, the Joy.
The Joy?
It's another name for the boss, because of the joy she feels in battle, I suppose.
Ah.
During the war, she had a partner named the Sorrow. Sorrow and Joy. They say there couldn't have been a more perfect pair. The Davy Crockett's that the boss took with her when she defected are mortars that fire nuclear warheads. They're named after Davy Crockett, the hero who died defending the Alamo in the Texan War of Independence.
Remember the Alamo.
That's right.
Remember the Alamo.
The warheads are equivalent to between 10 and 20 tons of TNT. Every building within 150 yards of the hypocenter is completely obliterated.
Sheesh.
But the warheads the boss had with her were some kind of experimental super bomb. So they're actually even more powerful than that. I don't even want to think about what happened if she used it again. Snake, you know what you have to do.
Yeah.
I know, gang.
I know.
If I unplug, hopefully there's a buzz. This thing picks up any sound. Okay.
Hey, you've got an M1911A1.
Yeah, a 45. 50 years since the Army adopted the first model, and they're still using them. It's a real gem of an automatic pistol.
But aren't you gonna need more than just one little handgun?
Not at all. When you're in a tight spot or fighting in close quarters, sometimes a handgun works better than a rifle. And if I equip a knife at the same time, I can instantaneously switch over to hand-to-hand combat.
I see. You're wearing the tiger stripe pattern camouflage, huh? Tiger stripe is a forest camouflage. As you may have guessed by the name, it mimics the stripe pattern on a tiger's coat. It was originally worn by South Vietnamese Marines. Then it caught the attention of an American military advisor, and now they're thinking of introducing it into all kinds of special forces units. It works best in places with lots of trees and grass, but it should blend in with dirt and mud, too. You mean you're not wearing any face paint? You can take off your face paint by selecting No Paint from Face. Just select No Paint when you want to skip wearing any face paint at all. But your camo index is never going to be as high without face paint as it is with it. Unless you want the enemy to see you, you ought to be wearing face paint.
Alright, I'm good with that.
You want to save? Hold on a sec.
I don't know what I'm saving, but alright. Okay. Okay. Now she wants to talk.
Okay, good luck, Snake.
Thanks.
That's it. Okay, that's new. Alright. I'm gonna end this part. Probably gonna... Hey! Coder overload? Come on. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this one and start the next one. I should be heading to bed, but screw it.